Alright, what's good y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. Today's topic for Soul Ramble mode is stages that I would love to see in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Now, I know this definitely sounds a little greedy of me. However, I know you and me and everybody else that's been playing this game for the past 3.5 weeks now know good and well that this game could absolutely utilize more stages if we could get our hands on them. We have been playing the same, 12 or so stages for a month straight, and I love them. They all look great, they look detailed, and it's awesome. However, this game has the potential for a very long lifetime. We're gonna see a lot of different characters, and namely a lot of different stages as it updates throughout the years, because if Xenoverse can get that kind of love, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that Sparking Zero is going to get a very similar, if not more, amount of love. So with that being said, I have a wish list here of stages that I would like to see either return or brand new stages that we haven't seen before. Most of these stages have been present in the series one way or another, so I'm just gonna call them returning stages. But here are the stages that come to mind that I would love to see in the game, starting with Kame House. I don't understand how this isn't a stage when it is legitimately already programmed into the game. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly here, I have to look back, but I'm pretty sure you fight here against Raditz when you first start the game, or when you first start the story mode. I could be wrong, maybe it was just islands, maybe it was just a variant of that for whatever reason, but long story short, Kame House is critical. That has always been like a staple fighting place forever. It's the house surrounded by water. I don't understand why it's not an arena to fight in. That's very strange. It's a very critical landmark, and I just couldn't see the game without it. So I would love to see that be an actual pickable stage at some point in the future. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. Speaking of iconic stages, Kame's Lookout is another one that I am absolutely beside myself about, because how has this not made it into the game? Kame's Lookout is another just iconic fighting arena. It's in every single game. I can't imagine a Dragon Ball game without it, which is why it's very strange to me that of all places, especially one that requires that the place be a little more empty for multiplayer or for co-op multiplayer, that we don't have something like Kame's Lookout, one that's a lot less demanding than a lot of the other stages that we already have and all of the stages that we're going to be talking about. This one could absolutely be another stage that serves as the bare bones co-op style arena to fight in, because it is nothing but sky. There's no reason as to why this is not an official stage. It's super duper strange to me, but I don't know, maybe they're still working on it, maybe we'll see it in the near future, but I don't know, just another super iconic stage that I would love to see. Now, a little bit less of an iconic stage, definitely Muscle Tower. I definitely appreciate it a lot because it's a very important part of Dragon Ball's history. I think definitely the big start of Goku getting his name around and people figuring out who he is. But Muscle Tower is a very critical landmark, and I would just love to at least have some kind of snowy Arctic area to fight in, because we don't have an area like that that's more very cold or Arctic in this game for some reason, and that's very strange. So I think that we could do with something like Muscle Tower, because it could serve perfectly as an arena to have that snowy atmosphere, as well as just an iconic location to be able to fight in. I think it would be super duper rad, but that's just my opinion. After that, of course, if we're still sticking with Dragon Ball, we gotta consider the fact that Baba's house is definitely another iconic location that would be super awesome to fight in, to be able to start on that little platform where Goku fought his grandpa for the first time since he not came back to life per se, but when he returned from Otherworld. And I don't know, I just feel like that's definitely an iconic enough location to be a playable area. To be able to fight there would be pretty awesome. I don't think that the backgrounds would be too demanding either, because it's just pretty much nothing but land outside of Baba's house. So I could rock with it. I think that would be a really cool location to have. I don't know if that's just me, maybe it's just me, I don't know, but I would definitely love to have that. Now, if we're getting into super iconic places that me personally, I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I would love to see HFIL or Hell, whatever, which one you want to call it, because that is a stupid iconic place from the Fusion Reborn movie, to be able to have all those little bubble things floating around, to be able to knock people through those, and just, I don't know, it's just an awesome place to fight. I don't see why we don't have that as an arena, and they already have a solid base or a model in Xenoverse 2 as proof, because it looks beautiful in Xenoverse 2. That is exactly how I'd want it to look if we were to have it in Sparking Zero. That would be immaculate to be able to fight there in, man, and to be able to, like, because I like Janemba. I love Janemba. He's one of my favorite movie characters, if not my favorite movie character. But I guess Broly now, or rather Super Broly now. But regardless, he is always going to be one of my favorite movie characters, and I really love the fact that he kind of got a somewhat original, like, arena to, you know, stand out in. And I feel like HFIL or Hell would be super dope to have as an official arena to fight in Sparking Zero. After that, this one's something of a returner. I feel like it would be specifically awesome if they modeled it closely to what we had in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, which is the highway or the mountain road that they fought on in the Android Saga when Android 18 was absolutely beating the dog water out of Vegeta. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's a super iconic place to have the truck sitting there and to have the, like, the trees and stuff, the little forest below and all that. I feel like that's just a super iconic location that means a lot to a lot of people. I remember spending hours and hours in there fighting against different androids and stuff like that, the CPUs. It was really, really fun to fight there, because I would always fight in the city. I love fighting in cities. That has always been my thing. But we already have, like, a perfect city. Like, the city that we have in Sparking, could not ask for better. Awesome. I could not ask for better. However, I feel like, you know, to get more away from that, we should have, like, more, like, forest-like areas. I don't see why not. I think it would be really cool to have, like, actual, like, trees below us and things like that to hide amongst and things. I think it would be really fun to hide, like, play kind of like a hide-and-seek type beat and try and shoot key blasts and break trees and things like that. I feel like we should have something like that. I feel like that would be really, really cool. And I feel like the highway or mountain road rather that we had in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is a perfect example of what we could do with that. But regardless, I feel like that would be really, really awesome to have something like that. I might also be misremembering. Maybe it wasn't as forested as I remember, but I would love a forest. But we'll get to that soon, actually. But regardless, would love to have that. After that, of course, I was talking about, you know, having a more unique atmosphere with a, like, Arctic style area, and I feel like glaciers would be perfect. Like, literally the area that we had in Broly Movie 2 where he was whipping on Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, and Videl specifically. I feel like that area would be a phenomenal fighting arena. Like, again, we could take a lot of inspiration from Xenoverse 2, man. We have a lot of different places to pick from, and I feel like that one is iconic as hell. Like, it's just, I could, like, give you, like, tit for tat, like, every part of that arena, like, off the top of my head. I would love to be able to actually actively fight there. I think it would be super dope, and to be able to break through, like, big old icicles and glaciers and things like that, I feel like that'd be sick. So I don't know, me personally would love to see that as a thing. After that, this one's a little more niche, probably wouldn't see it even in DLC, but if we could give some real acknowledgement to Toriyama's work, I would love to see Penguin Village. The characters in that, the cast in that is so cute. Orale and everything. I would love to see Penguin Village make something of a comeback, because it was available in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, but I feel like we just simply don't get enough acknowledgement for that, and Penguin Village would just be such a really cute vibe, like a super cutesy vibe, to be able to, like, start off on the street and then just go crazy knocking in the buildings and stuff like that. I feel like that would be an awesome stage to have in something like Sparking Zero, especially something to acknowledge Toriyama's, like, first big major work, or at least one of his first big major works before Dragon Ball. And, you know, it's acknowledged in Dragon Ball as well. I guess it's canon. I don't know. It's counted as filler, but whatever. Either way, I feel like it would be a really, really cool arena and a nice change of pace to have as a stage in Sparking. Getting back on track for, like, main, like, very important iconic locations, I think beneath Corin's tower. I feel like that's kind of viable, no? To have, like, Upa and Bora's little tent somewhere around there, to have, like, the fight take place beneath the tower, to see the tower in the distance and not be able to knock it over, kind of like the pillar in the Tournament of Power, to be able to actually have, like, this would be the forested area, actually. This is what I meant when I say I want, like, an actual forest. There should be tree lines everywhere. There should be, like, a little lake or a pool, something like what we had in Dragon Ball Kakarot, where you could fly around that area and there's a lot of trees and things like that. I feel like it would be just mega dope to be able to have this area. It's a vibe. It's definitely a vibe, and I feel like we could use something like a forest. It doesn't have to be heavily populated with trees. If that's a lot to develop, I totally get it. However, I don't know, if we could do it in Sparking, I feel like we can get away with it in Sparking, or not Sparking, I'm sorry. If we could get away with it in Kakarot, I feel like we could get away with it in Sparking too. I would just like to see them destructible if we can manage that, but I don't know. I think that would be really, really fun, but I don't know. Maybe it's like a clutter thing. That's why they didn't include something like that, but if we could get that, that would be sick as a brick, dog. I would love to see it. Next one, this one is definitely a niche that nobody's gonna ask for. This one's kind of crazy, but I would love, just for the fun of it, an area with Boo's house. I would love to fight in front of Boo's house, man. And I would love it if, I mean, they would never do something like this, but to have like Boo like waving. If you're not playing as Boo, he would be in his little house waving, and you would see him with the dog or something. I don't know. But regardless, I would love to see Boo's house as a playable area, because that is a very iconic location. That's where, you know, everything went down with Evil Boo and all that, and, you know, where Boo kind of got pissed off about what happened with the dog, and we really were able to differentiate Boo from you know, good Boo from the bad Boo and things like that. So regardless though, I think Boo's house would be amazing, an amazing thing to have. So if we could do something like that, I'm throwing money at it. That would be sick. After that, of course, this one might be a little redundant though, because we already have the martial arts tournament which takes place here. But I feel like we could easily also have like the general scope of Papaya Island. After exploring that in the DLC for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I love the vibe of Papaya Island. I feel like we could definitely do a little bit more. Again, it's kind of redundant because we already do have the open version of the World Martial Arts Tournament, which takes place there. So I don't know. I would just like to see more of Papaya Island, but honestly, this one could go either which way. If we don't get that, fine, whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like it would be cute to have Papaya Island as a stage. And then one of the main areas that I definitely would love to see, this is the last one for this actually, is Mount Paozu, or like Goku or Gohan's house, whether it be like Goku's original house where he lives with Gohan, or where they moved like down the hill, because Goku's family, they live right there, like very close to the mountain where he used to live. So honestly, I would love it, love it, if we could have that as a location to battle in, especially because like in Kakarot, it shows how much of an iconic location it is, and how like big and wide and spread open it is for an awesome battle to have. I would love a more mountain-esque area to be able to fight in. I think that would be really, really, really cool. But other than that, though, I think that just about does it for all of the stages that I would like to see. Of course, there's a lot of other stages that I would like to see too, but these are like the prime times. These are the main ones that I would love to see as playable stages, because I mean, don't get me wrong, again, I appreciate the stages that we do have, but after a while it does start to get a little redundant when we only have like 12 or 13 picks from like hundreds upon hundreds of options that we could have easily had throughout the franchise to pick from. But I don't know, maybe that's just a me thing. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic over to you guys, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Do you think that I am valid, that these stages are something that you would like to see in the game, that you would like to fight on, and you would like to see like all these different stages utilized properly in Sparking Zero? Or are you against that? You don't think we need any of these stages, the amount of stages that we have is just fine, and we don't need any updates to stages of any kind? Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always gonna be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. I would like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this. And with that, I'm gone. So thanks again, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.